All right, what is up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back into another Mental Health Monday. Now, I know, I said this last time, but it's been a while, okay? It's been a while. I'm not gonna say nothing about it, but we are back, all right? And by back, I mean back. Like, we're gonna be posting content from now on, okay? On all of our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and obviously YouTube, right? So those are the main platforms we're gonna be posting on and stuff. And yes, like I'm gonna be way more up to date with all of that, and hopefully, able to post a lot of good content for you guys. But besides that, we are going to be talking about in today's video how you can build a support system when you feel alone. As you guys know, it's the start of a new week, which means it's the start of a new drink. Just kidding, I made this up on the spot. But I wanted to say it because shout out to Bubbler. One of the best things you can do if you're somebody, I sound like an ad right now, but if you're somebody who drinks a lot of soda, try Bubbler. But anyway, so how to build a support system when you feel alone, okay? This is something that a lot of people around my age, well, I'm 18 now, but I would say anybody who's in the teens, this is something that you probably feel a lot, is like the feeling of being alone, but you're not actually alone, right? Like you don't really know exactly what it is that you're feeling because you feel alone, right? In the things that you do, you feel like nobody's there for you, but there is people that are technically there. And I know for a lot of you, it's probably a pretty hard thing to navigate through. And especially like I remember like I was going through this all the time, and sometimes I do still feel like I'm going through stuff like this. But it has been a lot easier. That's because I've actually managed to do certain things that helped it. And right, that helped that feeling of like nobody's there for me, or that helped that feeling of like, you know, I just don't have anybody to talk to. And, when you're somebody who's been dealing with a lot of like mental health struggles for the past couple of years, you tend to pick up on these things just almost naturally, right? Like you don't even look for it, you just pick it up naturally. I'm going to help you guys with some of those today. All right, so for the first one, we're going to be talking about a very major one, in my opinion, and that's picking up new hobbies and new interests that you never knew were there before. So, when you are feeling alone and stuff, you tend to kind of work on certain things by yourself, right? Maybe one of the things you work on would even be homework, or maybe it would be something like a video game, right? Like there's all these different things that you can do when you kind of feel alone and you don't really want to be by anybody. And honestly, like for example, Flip the Mind came because I felt alone. I was on a bike ride in the middle of the night, or it was around not the middle of the night, but it was like towards the start of the night. It was pitch black outside, but it wasn't like the middle of the night. And I was riding around, and then I all of a sudden got the idea of like, hey, I could do something like Flip the Mind that would be really cool. I knew nothing about anything in making a website or making it work, or just in general making clothes or all these different things. And even like the book was never going to be something I released, but I wrote the book before I even did that, right? And that's another example. Like the book that I wrote, that was something that I did after the feeling of being alone, because I had all that spare time just to myself where I picked up new hobbies. And that's something that you can do as well, right? Like if there's something that you think you might enjoy, why not do it? Like you only get one chance in life to really pick up the things at a like younger age, right? Like you only get that once in a lifetime because you only have one life. And to find those things that you genuinely love is something that is unmatched, right? Like when I started working on Flip the Mind, it's like it immediately clicked for me that this was the thing that I was going to be doing for whoever knows how long gonna be doing Flip the Mind. But I knew in my mind like this was going to be it. Like, this was exactly what I wanted and was looking for. And I think that's something that a lot of you can kind of relate to. It's like, if there's something that you want to do, for example, let's say you're somebody who loves to draw and you want to be an artist for, who knows, maybe like an anime of yours that you really like, or maybe you want to create your own anime, which props to you. That takes a lot of skill and that takes a lot of time and dedication. But that's something that you can do. And what a lot of people always kind of presume, I guess, or assume, one of the two. So if you're somebody who, you know, is kind of good at drawing, or not even just kind of good, that knows how to somewhat draw, you can like do all these cool things because, I mean, what's stopping you, right? At the end of the day, what is stopping you from doing these cool things? And don't say like, oh, well, I don't have a tablet, so I can't digitally draw the anime stuff. I'm sure somewhere in your room you got you got paper, you got pencil, and you can just start sketching, right? Like, you don't need to get the top-notch like electronics and materials right away, because if you get stuff like that right away, your motivation for it is going to decrease rapidly because you're going to realize how hard it is to do. I think the best way to really find the things that you love, and if you genuinely love them, or if it's just an interest for right now, is how long this idea stays in your mind. If the idea stays in your mind for longer than 2 months, I would say that that idea is something you're probably going to want to do for a while. So I would invest a lot of your time into just drawing every single day, right? Like, if you want to be an artist, draw every single day. And that drawing doesn't need to be some, like, I don't know, Da Vinci type work, right? It doesn't need to be like that. It can just be a simple drawing about anything that you see, maybe your pet or one of your family members, or just even nature outside, right? Like, there's all these different things that you can do instead of having to wait until you can buy like a $750 iPad and then an $80 Apple Pen and then like all these other credentials that you would need, and it would just be a ton of money for something that you might not even like. So start off small when you are looking for something like that, and finding all these different things is genuinely a good way to not feel alone. It keeps you occupied with yourself. And I think once you find that level of acceptance to yourself, that's when you really start kicking things into overdrive and really start going at it, right? So that's what I would personally recommend for anybody who is kind of feeling that way. Pick up the new hobbies, the new interests, anything that you have an idea for, act on that, because that's going to be what solidifies that amazing idea that you had in the first place. And, you know, finding something that you genuinely love is going to ease that kind of feeling of being alone. And instead of looking at being alone as a bad thing, you'll start looking at it as a good thing, because now you can really lock in. All right, the next one that I wrote down is journaling, okay? Now, this is something I used to do at like the very beginning, and it doesn't really matter where you are in terms of like, you know, your mental health situation. If you want to journal, go right for it, all right? Because journaling is actually like one of the best things, at least for me. It was one of the best things at the time, because it allowed me to really express my feelings and thoughts. Like, I would write down the way that I was feeling. I would write down all these different thoughts in my head that kind of were too loud and just stayed up there for too long. And writing them down kind of eased that tension of feeling like nobody cares about me, or like nobody's there for me, and just feeling like alone and stuff. And, you know, it helped me kind of cope with that and really be more accepting of myself, and, you know, being able to just accept the fact that, hey, right now, yeah, I do feel alone, but I'm also doing these better things, right? Like, you can journal some of the things that you've been doing more of because of this, right? Like, you can journal some of the things that you feel more passionate about. And that's why I think journaling is also one of the best things that anybody can do. Like, even if you're not having like issues with mental health, even just in general, if you want to do journaling, I highly recommend it. Journaling can also be integrated into like writing a book or something. Like, if that's something that you want to do, like, even if it's just a fictional book, you could use your own personal life experiences for that book, right? And what you can do is, like, just write down your thoughts and ideas that you would have. And you know it's pretty much just a way to utilize being alone or feeling alone, and just feeling a bit more happy about the things that you're doing. Like, you can use your alone feeling into this better feeling overall, and you can use it for a better thing than just like sitting alone in your room or sitting alone in your bed, right? Like, you can use that to do creative things. Now, I know a lot of people are gonna say when you feel alone, the one thing you should do is like reach out to somebody, right? Like, you should reach out to your family, you should reach out to a therapist, you should, reach out or do volunteer work. But I know y'all, all right? I know how teenagers work because I'm a teenager, right? That's not what we're gonna do, okay? Now, maybe a therapist, yes, I can see that. But if we're already having problems of feeling alone, that probably already means that we don't have the best relationship with our friends right now. Or we don't have the best relationship with our parents right now, right? Or family, right? And I think that's the problem that a lot of people kind of talk about is like, oh, well, reach out to your family when you feel alone and stuff. But your family could be a part of the reason why you feel alone. And I think finding peace within yourself without looking for somebody else to help find that peace for you is a better way of looking at it. Because, like I said, a lot of people will just tell you that you need to get a therapist in order for you to like not feel alone and have somebody to talk to. But another great way is just to do it yourself. Now, obviously, if it gets to the point where it starts getting really bad and you start having suicidal thoughts and it becomes unbearable, yes, of course, then obviously you want to reach out to anybody that you can, anybody that you even in the slightest trust. But if you're somebody who's still kind of navigating through things and it's not like to that severity, I think working through it by yourself is going to be the best way forward. And that's just from my experience, but I know for maybe some of you, it might not be like that. But honestly, if you're somebody who's kind of working through it right now and you don't really know exactly what you want it to, how you want it to be, I would say this is the best way that you can really start moving forward without having somebody else help you move forward. All right, the next one that I want to talk about is pretty much just getting out and doing stuff, moving around, all right? Like, if you're somebody who wants to work out, start working out. What better time is there to work out than right now? Now, obviously, if it's like 3 a.m. in the morning, all right, don't get off your bed to do like 10 sit-ups and like 5 push-ups and then call it a day. No, like, set a time that you want to work out. Now, I'm somebody who works out, right? I've actually been working out every single day for almost a year now. From the time I'm recording this video, there's only 3 more days. Whoa, 3 more days until I've hit the 1 year mark of working out every single day. I have not skipped a single day. And honestly, it's a big achievement for me personally, because I was somebody who never liked doing it, but then I started doing it. Now, I'm not saying you have to work out every single day for a year to, really kind of dive into it. No, if you're somebody who wants to work out like maybe 3 times a week or even just 2 times a week, right? Doing stuff like that is going to help you a lot. Not only will it make you look better, like your physique and everything, but it'll also make you feel better. Like, isn't that what you want? Like, to feel better. And when you start working out and doing all that stuff, you will naturally start like eating healthier. And doing all those different things will just kind of ease that feeling of like, man, I'm alone and this sucks, to more of like, I'm alone and I can achieve greatness. And I think that's the best part about, you know, being alone and finding that within yourself. It's like you can do all these cool things. It's just your mind tries to convince you that you can't, or people around you try to convince you that you can't. And you just have to not listen to that. And you have to truly believe, you have to really believe that you can actually do these incredible things, because you can, but you have to really believe it. And I think that's the key to all this. And working out is one of the best things to really get into that mindset of I can achieve anything. Okay. And this goes for anybody out there. Okay. You could be the skinniest person in the world. You could be the most overweight person in the world. Or you could be the most average person in the world. It doesn't matter where you are on the spectrum. All right. You can start working out today. And that doesn't mean you have to, you know, bench press like 200 pounds and start, you know, trying to crank those out. You won't be able to do it. But let's just say you wanted to do that. It's not gonna work out for you. Take it slow, all right? If you want to watch videos, all right? If you want to do all those different things, that's the key to doing all of this. It's like you don't want to rush working out, all right? You want to take it slow, take your time, right? First day, take your time, ease into things a little bit, figure out what works best for you and what doesn't, all right? That's the whole point of working out. And over time, you will start getting used to it and you'll start to understand, you know, how to go about this. But yeah, working out has been a game changer for me. And, you know, getting good protein and getting good like food inside of you is also just a good thing, right? And, you know, like I was talking about the bubbler earlier, and that thing has like zero of everything. It has only 5 calories. And when you compare that to something like soda, it's ridiculous, right? So if you're somebody who loves soda, even Sprite, okay? If you're somebody who loves Sprite, now personally I love Sprite. But anyways, if you're somebody who likes Sprite like a lot, there's a lemon lime flavor. So just get that and it's so much better for you. Yes, it has natural caffeine in it, right? And I mean that's better than artificial, I think. I'm joking, obviously it is. But pretty much that's one of the things I would recommend, all right? Because it helps you look at your like diets a lot better than compared to, you know, not working out. Because when you work out, subconsciously, you will think, hey, I want to eat better. I want to look better, so I'm going to eat better. I want to have more energy, so I'm going to eat better, right? I'm not going to shove down the third bowl of cereal today. I'm only going to eat one bowl of cereal and eat something healthy afterwards, like strawberries or mangoes or whatever you want to eat, right? So that's what I would recommend personally. Now, obviously, if you have something else to recommend, you can say in the comments down below, all right? And there's obviously a lot of different ways that you can not feel alone. And these were just a couple of ideas, and like these are the major ones that I would say are the best ways to not feel alone. It's just finding that peace within yourself, finding that strength to do the impossible that people say is impossible. Like I scroll all the time on stuff like TikTok, right? And I see people talk about like, man, I wish I could be a singer, or I wish I could be this and this and this. And I never understood that kind of mindset, because it's like people always say, I wish, I wish, I wish. But why not just start doing, you know? It's like if you want to become a better singer, start like looking at videos on how they teach you how to become a better singer. Or you could hire, or you know, find somebody that will help train you become a better singer, right? Or you can just sing on your own and listen to music, right? Like that's one of the things that I did all the time, and I still do, is listen to music constantly, because I love music, right? I love it with passion, in case, you know, you can't tell, right? I love music. And I've made a couple of my own songs too, and it's an amazing feeling to let out all those feelings and emotions and really like get them out on a piece of paper and just, start singing them and start like making all these different beats and stuff and like kind of mixing them around and, you know, fixing everything. It's awesome. The process is awesome and I love it. And the thing is, I don't have a fancy software. I don't have somebody who's a producer or an editor or any of that stuff. Like I just, did it by myself. And is it like, I don't know, Bruno Mars type level? Like obviously not. But if I really wanted to, I could start working on trying to get to that level. And people might say, well, that's impossible. But I don't really believe that. And I just really don't. I genuinely believe if there's something that you want to do and that you want to achieve, the best way you can achieve that is by stop comparing yourself to other people and what they've already achieved and just start doing it right now. Like people say, oh, well, now it's too late to start doing something. Or, oh, I've kind of hit the age in my life where I no longer can work towards that goal. What are you talking about? I swear there's like 60-year-old singers out there. So people who are like 25 and saying, oh, well, no one's going to want to listen to me sing anymore. That's just not true. Like you can start now. Anybody out there who's watching this video, just start now, okay? With anything that you have ambitions for, start now, okay? Because that's the key to finding that peace within yourself. And that's how you will really find how to make being alone not feel like you're alone. But anyways, that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. If you guys want to check out my website, Flip the Mind, you guys can go check it out. It has my TikTok, Instagram link down there as well. So you can definitely go check it out. I also revamped the way that it looked a little bit. So it's a lot easier to navigate. Because I went to go look at it the other day and some things weren't working, and like my Instagram account, my TikTok account, both got hacked. That's something we'll save for maybe a Flip the Mind Friday video because it was bad. Okay, I got like obliterated. But anyways, if you guys want to go check those out, they are now okay for now. I'll let you guys know if something happens to them. But make sure you guys go check those out. And like I said, go check out Flip the Mind. And also share this video with somebody who you know might need it. Because you never know, somebody out there might need help. And you could be the reason why they get that help. And I think that's the best part about it, right? That's the whole point of Flip the Mind. And yeah, so make sure you guys do all that stuff. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care.